Okay, hi, this is like the first video I'm doing on this channel, but like it's not gonna be the first video on the channel anyway. So basically, I've got this idea going on right now, and it's just gonna be a friendly reminder not to overcomplicate things, because I've done exactly that. So we've got this section, which is like A. I like that a lot, that's really cool. And then we got like a response. So this is the core, A, this is the response, B. But then we got this thing that goes on, which is like technically D. Nope, I know my alphabet. This is D, this is C. And this little part here, the little high pitch part, that can definitely be kind of a variation on this part. But this thing right here, this growly thing, that's like, if I put different drums up here, so this section had the drums that it's got going on, there may be some like trap drums, then rhythm drums, I don't freaking know an example, but like if I play this all together, it just sounds like 3 songs here, just mushed together, and obviously 4 if you include this section here, so. Now this part kinda works because it's using this, but just a very slightly different pattern, whereas this section is using a different part of a resample. This is one resample, this is using a different one, and it's like scrolled through to get a different result. It's not being pitched around or anything, I don't believe. Let me check actually. Yeah, none of this has been pitched around. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just duplicate it. You can do this little button here, duplicate, and just move it way over here. So we're gonna keep this one as the like original, and then we're gonna make this one the little, make it simpler. Calm down, bro. So first, I'm not gonna delete this. I like this sub pattern right here is kind of cool to me. I like the way it sounds. The way it sort of it sounds dumb, but it's funny. But what I'm gonna do is, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna delete just these lot, minus the hype screech here. Oh, it's muted. It's still muted. So I'm gonna use this sound here, which is unbelievably unbearable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, because also another thing I didn't mention, the drums changed. So we've got this pattern. Once again, cool. This is the response. But then we've got another core, and the response is different. So it's like, it's changing a lot. Again, overcomplicating a lot of things. While the pattern right here is technically more complicated because it's got the chops. If I repeat that, then that will become consistent. Whereas if I were to do this thing, it's just adding another change I don't think is that necessary. I'm gonna keep the fill because we've got this fill here. I don't have it selected, good job me. Which is cool, and then we got this fill here, and we've got another fill just here. Let me delete this. We're gonna delete that. Not needed. Oh yeah, little Fox, Stevenson, little woo as well. Yep, so we're gonna copy in this. Blah. Voila, so cool and so stuff, and just yes. I'm gonna keep this little gap here, because I think the transition, this is a YT ride. Shut up, forget, Fox. Listen, I know your album's coming out and may already be out by the time this video is out, but shut up, forget. Got doing this. I feel like this little pause is kind of necessary because of the way it comes in. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much just going to copy this section. Bloop, like that. And what we could do is we can just mute you, not mute you, but move you along. So it's now this. Now that is a variation while still being similar to this, because it was one sound, a response sound, so different, and then another sound. So again, overcomplicating things when it's not necessary, but adding variation while keeping a theme going. Little variation, that's quite loud as well. I might actually turn you down a bit, like go 3, sure, so we'll do that. Get rid of U2, copy, paste, wah. So we've got the sub bass following the pattern from over here, because that's where it was from. but because we got a new section, we could change the sub just so it's following the pattern, but still remaining, like, keeping a theme. So we're gonna just take what would be the sub pattern for this thing and just... I think that works. Does it work? I don't think I lined it up correctly, so no, it doesn't work. There we go. Now it works. But if we turn everything back on, it will work a little bit better now. Now, I think while it works slightly better in the first half, this sound right here and then going into another new sound is still slightly too complicated. So I think I'm going to just cut these, plonk them here, and we'll come back to you later. You can stay there and be loved. So what I'm going to do is, instead of being dumb, I'm just going to straight up copy and paste it here, because I think you can repeat stuff more than once. I think what I'm going to do, I'm repeating the call over here, that's remaining the same, but I think for the response the second time, which is here, that's going to be different. And right now the sound is entirely different, I believe. Instead of... That's kind of goofy, but... So let's see what happens if I just copy and paste it and like move it over, and then maybe, what can I do? How can I make it interesting? What if I do like a situation? Let's try that and then double it maybe. It's kind of cool. Slightly extend it right here. That's cool. I like that. What if I do one of these? Maybe now would be a good time for this. Thanks for the reminder, me. What track was it on? Was it just on this? I think it was. Okay, it's 4, so we gotta do that. Maybe just 4 kick, because I am changing the drums, but I feel like it would make more sense than what I'm currently doing. We'll cut that off too. Yeah, that's cool. Let's loop this and make the speed go down. Okay, it's not from the point I thought it was, so we'll put that, plonk it there. Yeah, drop down. That's cool in my opinion. I don't know whether or not you think that, but I think it is, so your opinion is invalid. Let's find a part of this break. I like this snare quite a lot. Let's try that, like a little ba-da, 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 ba-da. Yeah. And then I can cut the tonal-ish sub. That sounds so stupid because the sub bass is tonal in the first place, but you get what I mean. We can grab this sub bass and we can do one of these. We'll make it actually a bit longer because it can be. Thank you. Voila. And I'll shorten you because you don't need to be as long as a, I don't know, insert something along a giraffe's neck. Sure. Yeah. That's cool. So that's still adding an interesting thing because it's going choppy, which was still the sound. So it's using a familiar sound. And then we're using this, which is an actual quite large difference. So it's not going to make this response boring compared to this one because this one's got the cool change. So let's hear it in context. See how much better that is? Let's play it. Let's play it one more time. The before and after. It's just a very simple video. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this song. I don't think this sound is quite what I want, but enough with the yapping. Here's the before, messy bollocks. Yeah. And then we got this. Wonderful. And then we're going to go into another new section, and obviously I'm going to follow a very similar formula to this little situation where I'm going to use recycle elements pretty much, change them slightly, like this kind of thing. And then as we progress in the drop, I suppose it does make sense to add a bit more crazier variation. But again, you got to keep in mind that sometimes overcomplicating things like I did over here doesn't always sound good. Obviously to you that might be a bit like alright, but in my opinion this just sounds like 3 completely different songs. Like that's 3 different songs. I know this and this are the same to what I did over here, but it makes more sense because it's got the extra call and extra response, whereas this is just vomit. Shut it. Okay, bye chaps. Hope you learned something, even though this is a dumb video.